Hello everyone, Luke Riva here in a new set again, so to speak, for this review. And today I'm going to talk about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, the first movie it still is one of the best animated films ever made, and not only that, one of the best movies ever made, period. But in particular for animation, it gave a new perspective as to how to do animation and how to approach this genre by mixing 2D and 3D techniques to give it a whole new look. Particularly, the first movie wanted to give it the comic book feeling to the characters, like how you would look at them on the comic book page, and I think that they nailed it. And, well, not just I think everyone thought they nailed it. In fact, the first movie won the Oscar for Best Animated Picture. That movie went on to influence a bunch of others. For example, well, without counting Mitchell's vs. the Machines, which is also from Phil Lord and Chris Miller and Sony Animation Studios. We also had Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish, was evidently influenced by this movie's techniques, as well as the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated film from Paramount and Seth Rogen. But after talking about the legacy of the first movie, let's talk about this sequel, Across the Spider-Verse. In this movie, Miles Morales is still trying to fit in after he lost basically all of his friends that he made during the first movie because they were from other dimensions. And once Gwen shows up again, like we saw the tease at the end of the first movie, he understands that she's not there just to visit, but she's there for a mission, and he discovers that she's part of the Spider Society, which is this group of Spider-Man people from all different dimensions that are trying to save the narrative continuity of each other's dimensions. At the top of this society there is Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 99, who is against Miles joining the Spider Society, but he wouldn't explain why until it would be revealed later, and after that revelation, Miles will have to decide once again how to be the hero he wishes to be. So this is the most spoilerless plot I can give. I had the luck to watch it in English because, you know, the theater near my house often plays movies in English, so I was lucky enough to catch an English showing of the film. And let me tell you, it's fantastic. I mean, that's the best way to describe this movie. It takes every concept introduced into the Spider-Verse and takes it to the next level. I mean, there is everything and then some that we experienced previously, both from a technical point of view and a narrative point of view. I mean, technically, this is a feast to behold, and everyone should watch it in theaters because that's the best way to watch this film. It's artistic to the bone. We are going through very different universe compared to the previous ones where we basically just went through a couple of styles. Here we have a bunch of styles, from Spider-Gwen's world to the Spider-Man 99's world. We have a very different approach to what is Miles Morales' world. It's a feast again. It's beautiful to witness, it's beautiful to watch, and it fits perfectly into this multi-layered narration that really deepens what, again, we watched in the first movie. There is a lot of character development, especially from Spider-Gwen. I mean, all the prologue takes place in Spider-Gwen's world, and it's amazing. It sets the stage for a character very clearly, and every dramatic scenes she's in, it's completely nailed to the bone, both artistically and also thanks to Hailey Steinfeld voice acting. Voice acting in general in this movie is amazing. The Spider-Verse depiction here, the Spider Society depiction here, is very interesting. Of course, it's also a source of a bunch of comedic moments, and it's a very fun movie, don't get me wrong. I mean, there is a lot of drama, but it's a very fun movie, to the point in certain scenes jokes keep coming, and you might be laughing your ass out for a joke, and you might be missing two jokes that are coming right after that. And they are very smart and thoughtfully written jokes, so that's why it works so well. And the whole movie, it's smart, thoughtfully and heartfully written, and that's why it's also being hailed so much, despite being part one of two, because that's something that needs to be said. Across the Spider-Verse is just part one of two. The second movie, Beyond the Spider-Verse, is supposed to come out in March next year. And of course, after watching this movie, you're very excited. But also, the fact that it's part one of two might be the only flaw to this movie, because you can't really judge it. I mean, I'm doing a review for it, of course, and I loved it, so it's gonna get a very high rating. And if you follow me on my social media, you know I already gave it a very high rating. Much like Dune or Fast 10, being part 1 or 2 makes it, or in case of Dune, Fast 10 is part 1 of 3, apparently. It makes it very difficult to give it an opinion without knowing where this is going to go, you know. Because one of the purposes of Across the Spider-Verse is actually to set up stakes, motivations, and circumstances that are going to start off Beyond the Spider-Verse, aka Part 2. And without knowing how all of this is going to play out, it makes it difficult, at least for me, or I guess everyone, to be honest, to completely and fairly judge this narrative, because as a movie, it's amazing. You should go watch it. It's a must-watch film, and it shouldn't be any less than that. If you don't go watch it in theaters, you don't have a heart. If you don't like this movie, you don't have a heart, to be honest. I mean, especially if you love Spider-Man like I do, this movie is a celebration of what we love. But even if you don't like Spider-Man, this movie, much like the first one, you are going to enjoy and have a lot of fun with. But again, the narrative needs to be completed before giving it a full-on opinion. Anyways, without further ado, again, I briefly already talked about the voice acting, talking about Andy Stanfield, but everyone does an amazing job. From Shameik Moore, who comes back as Miles, kills it. Andy Stanfield, again, already said kills it. Oscar Isaac kills it. But everyone else, I mean, Jake Johnson returning, Issa Rae, who plays a new Spider-Woman. Andy Samberg has a very brief role, but he kills it, obviously. And of course, we have cameos from multiple Spider-Mans, a cameo from a villain. The cameo from a villain is real, and some of the other cameos from the Spider-Mans, some of them are fake, but they are very beautifully placed in the film. Also, shout out to both the score and the music in the film. Both are killers. Go check out both Daniel Pemberton's score and the album of the movie. It's a blast listening to it, and it's completely worth it. Anyways, what's the score for Across the Spider-Verse? Well, to me, the score is 8.5 out of 10. It's almost perfection, and the fact that it's not perfection is because we still have to see where this is going. What are you waiting for? Take your ass out, go to your favorite theater, and go watch it. It's that good. Anyways, did you watch Across the Spider-Verse? What did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and follow Weekos on all social media. My name is Luke Ripa. This was the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse review, and I'll see you next time.